Does anybody have a question about Russia? Anything at all?
До свидания!
Good, not a question. Also a little bit rude if you know the context. I mean, if you know what I mean. But,
I'm sorry.
no, that's fine. You're good. Yep.
Do you know Chubaraska?
Yeah.
What do you think of Chubaraska?
Well, I mean, it's a beloved animated cartoon character from Soviet Union. I mean, it has all the good values. Doesn't really associate it with like a bad commie stuff from Soviet Union. So like, and it's cute. So like, that's cool. I think it was a short one. Can we do another one? Another one? Oh, also, I'm a former journalist, political journalist. So like, you can ask me anything about, like Russian politics, what's going on now in Russia. I'm not a war expert, but so probably not about like how the war going, but like politically, how it affects Russia, something like that. Yeah. No? Yeah?
I saw some report that said Putin might be dying of some kind of sickness.
Well, yeah, I mean, it would be nice it would happen. Yeah. Also, like, so we're doing a little bit, like a small video of me answering the question. So the question was, I guess, is Putin really dying of some sickness?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be nice if it would happen, but probably the source of this, news. There's a guy. He's a professor. He's legitimately a professor. His name is Valery Solovey, and he kind of predicts that Putin is gonna die in the next 3 months. Once in a while, like 2-3 times a year for past 3-4 years. So, I mean, he's still alive. So, unfortunately, we shouldn't count on that. That's the point. And also, I hope Putin will live to see the trial. Yeah. Maybe do the short one. Okay. Yeah.
Hypothetically, if he died, who would be next in line?
Oh, so that's a really good question. If Putin dies, who's going to be next in line? According to Russian, law, the next in line would be prime minister, but probably it's not going to happen because after Putin dies, let's say he dies like tomorrow, then it will lead to like vacuum of power and probably a big power struggle inside Putin's elite. Everybody will try to take over, but none of them have enough resources or like legitimacy among, like Russian people to, like secure the place. So probably it's going to lead to chaotic power struggle with a lot of violence and death, but hopefully with a lot of death within Putin's elite, which is like place to deal with after.
That's like stuff that happened in like Roman times.
Yeah.
Like when someone died, they like took the swords out and they just started fighting.
Yeah, and okay, so the good thing, like good compare, like we can compare Russia to Roman Empire. So in Roman Empire, they used to have at some point the practice of when emperors like were having they were free some of the slaves. And those slaves will serve them if they're like talented people. So they were completely loyal to the emperor, and they were like talented. They had a lot of power while emperor was in power. The problem though, the moment emperor dies, usually those slaves were next to die because they don't have any power on their own. It's about Also, let me know if I'm like taking too much time. Am I still good? Huh?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Oh, cool. Yeah.
So, do you think we've ever seen, communism in Russia without like the dictators or oligarchs or oppressive regimes? Like, have we had that opportunity to see what that could look like?
Well, the short answer to that would be no, because Bolsheviks took power right after that. There was like a civil war during which they established so-called dictatorship of the proletariat, which was like a party dictatorship. Then it was Stalin's dictatorship. Then under Khrushchev, it was kind of still party dictatorship, not a personal one. There were still political prisoners, and after that it was like a slow decline. So I wouldn't say we see like a communism. Also, I think we never saw communism as a communism without dictatorship throughout the history at all. And Russia is maybe one of the worst examples, excluding Cambodia, which is like a completely horrible example. But Russia was the longest one. Oh, also China. Now probably China is the longest one, which is also not so great. Also not a big fan of communism on practice. In theory, cool stuff, but
What do you think of Navalny?
Oh, Navalny is great. So actually, I used to work for his presidential campaign in Yekaterinburg. I was doing videos for his office in Yekaterinburg, my hometown. And I think he's great. He should be the next president of Russia. Now, because of that, now he's in prison for 2 years, and basically for the last 6 months, they're torturing him with it's like an administrative torture. So they send him to like a extra secure, special punishment cameras. I think they did it like 7 times in the last 6 months, and he spent in this like special conditions, especially rough conditions, about 100 days. Then they have a practice when they so his cellmate, they choose his cellmate, and it's a guy who they frequently take to the hospital because he's sick, and then they actually put him next to other sick people with open forms of tuberculosis, coronavirus, all the stuff. I mean, Russian prison is not a great place to be sick, so people are sick a lot because they're not treated well. And then after this guy, caught on some of the symptoms, they're like, okay, let's put him back to Navalny. So basically, they're trying to kind of, kill him, but not as obvious as they tried before when they tried to poison him, and they kind of failed. So hopefully he'll survive. Because he's a tough dude. So, yeah. Okay, we're good. Thank you very much. Thank you.